The most damaging arguments aren't the loud ones. They're the ones that never happen, where you say it's fine, act like it isn't, and then wonder why things feel strained. Because nothing was ever really resolved. You just carried on, except something between you has changed, and you both feel it, even if neither of you has admitted that either. And the worst part is, you probably think you're being reasonable, because in your head, something did happen. A comment, the way they said it, or something that just didn't sit right. But instead of saying anything, you told yourself it wasn't a big deal, or that it wasn't worth bringing up, so you convinced yourself it'd be easier to let it go. But you didn't let it go. You held on to it, and it started coming out in other ways. You go a bit quiet, you're not as warm, just enough for them to notice, but not enough for them to understand. And that gap between what you felt and what you actually said is where all of this starts. So now they're dealing with a version of you that's different, and they don't know what caused it, while you're still reacting to something they were never actually told about, which means you're both off with each other for completely different reasons. You feel hurt, they feel confused, and neither of you is talking about the thing that started it. And this is where things begin to break down. What you felt was real, but the way it showed up afterwards didn't match it. You're reacting to something that happened earlier, and they're reacting to how you're showing up now. And those two things don't line up. That's where the tension comes from. If you're honest, this probably isn't the first time this has happened. It doesn't feel like you're creating a problem. It feels like you're keeping things calm or avoiding tension. But avoiding tension doesn't remove it, it just moves it somewhere else. And when something emotional gets pushed aside, it doesn't disappear. It just comes out differently. It shows up in your tone, your patience, and how willing you are to engage, until something between you starts to feel off. From their perspective, something has changed, but they don't know what. So they either try to fix it or start pulling back themselves. And now you're reacting to each other instead of what actually started it. That's how something small turns into something much bigger than it needed to be. People often call this passive aggression, but that makes it sound like a conscious choice, like you decided to punish them without saying why. Most of the time, it isn't like that. You felt something that was hard to say, so you held on to it because saying it felt riskier than staying quiet. And here's the truth. You're not being unclear, you're being unreadable. They can feel that something's wrong, but they have nothing to work with. And that's what makes this so difficult, because people can sense the shift without understanding it. And the longer that goes on, the more it starts to rewrite the way you see each other. What was once easy starts to feel tense. What felt natural starts to feel forced. And eventually, you're not just dealing with the original moment anymore. You're dealing with everything that built on top of it. If you've been on the other side of this, you'll know how exhausting it is. You can feel something's off, but you don't have enough to go on, so you start guessing, replaying conversations, adjusting how you're acting in the hope it helps. And when it doesn't, you start to wonder if you're the problem, if there's something about you that keeps causing this, even when you don't know what it is. And that feeling of trying to reach someone and not being able to is one of the loneliest experiences in a relationship. Most people who do this aren't trying to hurt anyone. They're trying to protect themselves from conflict, from vulnerability, from the fear that saying how they feel will make things worse. And that fear usually comes from somewhere real. Maybe saying how you felt didn't go well in the past. Maybe it caused arguments or distance or made things feel unstable. So you learn to keep things in, to manage it internally and wait for it to pass. And sometimes it does, but when it doesn't, the very thing you were trying to protect is what starts to break down. Over time, this becomes a pattern. Something bothers you, you tell yourself it's fine, and you carry on, even though somewhere underneath you know it isn't. A relationship doesn't need a perfect conversation or the exact right words at the perfect moment. It just needs the thing that didn't get said to finally be expressed. Because when you actually say what hurt, there's something real for the other person to respond to. instead of them trying to make sense of your behavior and getting it wrong. Remember this: silence doesn't keep the peace. It just hides the problem until it shows up somewhere else.